friends. This is Under the Arc Sports. I'm Eric.
And I'm David.
And today we are doing our weekly Cardinals Chronicles. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook and Instagram. So, David, looking back at the past week since our last Cardinal Chronicles, two series that really kind of the same thing. One offensive explosion, immediately followed by a shutout, and just an ugly game to go along with it for both series.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but I am really missing Harrison Bader and Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah.
I mean, not even for their offense, but their defense, man. I never thought I'd say that, but
yeah, it's weird. It's just weird already. Real quick before we look into specifics, quick glance at the NL Central. Not a whole lot has changed. The Reds are still in first place. The Brewers are a game back, one more game back to the Cardinals. Pirates are just a half game back of the Birds. And then the Cubs. They're in last. That said, they're only 3 games out of first, 1 game behind the Cardinals. So it's the division's tight so far. Now looking at the Cardinals offense so far, David, the team isn't hitting. The team average is 221, which again, that includes everybody, pitchers and everything else. The key takeaway there, 23rd in Major League Baseball. OPS 679, that's only 20th. Now, these are a little more surprising. The team has 140 strikeouts in 15 games, which seems like a lot, but they're actually tied for 11th, fewest in baseball. So they're better than average in terms of striking out as an offense, which blows my mind. And then they've got 54 walks, which is 10th best in the league. What are you thinking about the Cardinals offense over the past week, really?
Inconsistency is the key word here. I don't know. It is what it is at this point, and I kind of knew it going into the season.
Yeah.
But this offense really keys around our outfield. Can they hit?
Yeah.
And right now, the only one who's even shown any signs of life is Dylan Carlson, who I kind of knew going in that's kind of what it was going to look like. Probably the biggest surprise is DeYoung is not hitting, where I thought he would be playing better. And I think because of that and a couple of the key guys who are supposed to be hitting aren't, it's really pulling our offense down.
Yeah. So, there's like multiple black holes in the Cardinals lineup right now. Paul DeYoung, as you mentioned, he's just kind of fallen off the face of the earth. Justin Williams has at least looked like he belongs playing Major League Baseball when he is at bat, but he's hitting better, but not good. And Paul Goldschmidt, he started really hot, but then in the past week, he's really going through a slump. Yeah, Goldie, I think we're both willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's just going through a funk that he'll come out of. But DeYoung's never hit for average, and Justin Williams, it just hasn't proven himself yet.
Well, and Justin's been looking better each game too, so keep an eye on that, because I think
I'm saying. He's improving. He's not good, but it is better. So maybe we do this next week. Maybe his average will be up 20, 30 points, and he'll look pretty decent. We'll see. One guy who does look really good is Yadier Molina, David.
Oh, yeah. He's been tearing the cover off the ball, if you will. What was he at? 4 home runs? I can't even believe that.
Yeah. He's leading the team. He's batting .340, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. He's leading the team in all those. And, I'm going off the top of my head here. He might be leading the team in slugging percentage, which on a team with Goldschmidt and Arenado, and him being 38 years old,
well, he's not only leading the team, he's in the top 10 right now for top hitters in the league.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's I'd say it's probably the best start to a season offensively he's ever had in his entire career. which honestly is kind of keeping the Cardinals afloat.
Well, and the biggest frustration of all, in my opinion, is the one guy who I never thought I'd see as much as I'm seeing right now, but Matt Carpenter.
Oh my gosh. Matt Carpenter. 2 hits all season. Since that home run and the curtain call, he's put up a big goose egg. And he's struck out like almost half his at-bats since then. I don't. If this keeps going on, you can't keep putting him out there. I don't care about Tyler O'Neill being hurt and having to shuffle around. I don't care about Austin Dean, playing the lefty matchup. You're getting to a point where Matt Carpenter just can't be in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I want to make this point. John Nagowski was brought up on this team, and he showed all through spring training what a hitter he is. Now he's a first baseman, and they've had him learning the outfield. Yet he has yet to start a single game this year. Why in God's name are we playing Carpenter at second base and putting Edman out there? And don't get me wrong, Edman's been holding his own. In fact, he doesn't have a single error in the outfield or at second base. But his better position is at second. Put John out in the outfield. Give him a shot. I mean, he hasn't been hitting well, but that's because he's coming off the bench like once a game. You got to give the guy reps. And give him reps instead of Carpenter, because we all know what we're getting out of Carpenter. It's driving me crazy why he hasn't gotten a start yet.
Yeah. And another thing regarding Matt Carpenter that I think we both really want to address is, people are using metrics to try and defend Matt Carpenter and his heinous batting. It's killing me. So people are using a stat known as XWOBA. That is the expected weighted on-base average. I had to look at my phone to pull it up because I am not big into the super intense metrics like this. Expected weighted on-base average. So reading this from the MLB website, it is formulated using exit velocity, launch angle, and on certain types of batted balls, sprint speed. So like a slow roller or something for like an infield hit. Using that, Matt Carpenter is doing really well. And what it amounts to is he's hitting the ball hard. Well, that's all well and good, but a hard hit out is an out. And this stat, or this metric, does not take into account the fact that some players play into a shift. Matt Carpenter plays into one of the most intense shifts in all of Major League Baseball, and he cannot defeat it. He is either incapable or unwilling. One of the two. But the ball never goes to left field when he's at bat. And they know it. That metric does not account for it. So that it really it makes the metric borderline useless when you consider that Carpenter is playing into a shift that most players are not playing into. A hard hit ball is only good if it's finding some open space. And Carpenter's not doing that because he's only hitting it to one side of the field and the other team knows it. Sorry. It's frustrating. People are trying to defend Carpenter with this.
I'm 100% with that. They're putting so much into these extra metrics, but it means absolutely nothing when you're hitting .0600 or something like. Not even that.
I think he's batting .077.
Yeah,
0.77, I think, is what he's batting.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm not off by much. I know that.
The key point is he cannot hit the ball to the left field side of the park at all, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now let's take a look at the pitching staff for the Cardinals. David, it's more the same. And the way I explained it, it's like good. It's good and bad. It's like ultimate yeah but situation where what I mean by that is you can just come back and say, oh, well, Jack Flaherty's 2-0, and he's not giving up a whole lot of runs or whatever you want to say. Yeah, but he's not pitching deep into games. Yeah, but the pitching staff is not giving up tons of runs. Yeah, but one quality start the entire season. It's ridiculous, David.
Well, and to throw this stat out there, kind of like what you were saying, is we have had 6 starters and only 2. There's only been 3 wins accounted to the starters. That's how deep they're getting into games.
See,
like they're not even making it 5 innings.
And it's just throwing strikes. That's really as simple as it gets. They're not doing it.
Probably the only person I could give a pass is KK, and that's just because he's coming out of a back issue and just finally had his first start.
I'll give him a pass for his start on, what was that, Saturday?
With
the caveat that he needs to improve.
Right.
And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, assuming he does improve in his next start. If he doesn't, then he's right. He's in the same situation as everybody else, where it's just not throwing enough strikes. He replaced Daniel Ponce de Leon in the starting rotation, and that's necessary. PDL just not going to get it done when he's having to go out there every 5 days. He can get it done as a spot starter, give you 4, maybe 5 innings, and that's all you need in that situation. But this isn't sustainable for an entire season. This isn't even sustainable to the All-Star break. Let's be real.
That's how you burn out your bullpen.
Exactly. Then you have someone like Carlos Martinez. He does great until the slightest anything goes wrong, and then he completely implodes.
Yeah, and then you have John Gant, who actually has looked pretty solid the last couple of starts. However, again, the walks crop up into that, and no run support.
Yeah. Carlos Martinez's last start on Friday night, one of the most frustrating things. First inning, 1-2-3. Second inning, was it 5 runs on 5 hits? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Third inning, 1-2-3. Fourth inning, 1-2-3. Fifth inning, 1-2-3. He was perfect his entire start, except for one complete faceplant of an inning. And it's just with Carlos, it is absolutely just mental toughness. He's shown it for years that he just, for whatever reason, he just doesn't seem to have it in him to bear down and just get stubborn about it and say, you are not going to turn this into a big inning. He just can't shake off an error or, a good pitch that the other player, the batter just, goes down and gets a hit out of it. That just messes with him so much, and it just nukes his outing.
Yeah. I don't know what to say with him other than a psychiatrist, maybe. I mean,
but it's such a simple thing. Throw more strikes. Now, overall, David, if you had one key point to take away from the National Series and the Phillies series, those 6 games, what would your one big takeaway be?
Ooh. Honestly, quit playing Matt Carpenter. I mean, there's so many things to choose from.
Is in agreement.
Yeah, there's so many things to choose from, but I think that's the first place I'd look. Quit playing Matt Carpenter.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, it's for me, it's just a need to just find some consistency and with the offense. And with that, that means individual players game to game, yes, but also within a trip down the lineup. You can't just have like an upper half that's doing okay, and then the entire bottom half of the lineup is just free outs. You can't have Matt Carpenter, not even batting 100, batting 5th. You can't have a Goldschmidt in a prolonged slump in that 2 spot ahead of Arenado. Again, I'm more willing to give Goldie the benefit of the doubt because he's proven, but he needs to come out of it.
I wouldn't mind on that note flipping Goldie around, putting Dylan Carlson in front of Arenado, and then maybe put Goldie behind Arenado, and then Yadi behind Goldie.
If things don't change for Goldie, maybe by the end of the week or something, if he's still in a slump, maybe that's the jolt he'll need. Who knows?
Just to shake up the lineup a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to watch this week, see if we get more out of our pitchers and batters. If not, you'll hear us complaining a whole lot more next Monday. Other than that, thank you for watching Under the Arch Sports. And remember to subscribe both to our Facebook and Instagram pages.
See you guys next time.